nuclear power plant to run for office, and my wife was a stay-at-home mom. I do not recommend that to anybody. But anyway, so we were at this college out on the Eastern Shore, about 400 kids. We got to meet the Republicans at the Republican Student Club at the superintendent's house right before the big debate. And I didn't know, I just shook hands, didn't know where they stood on anything. So we get to debate. There's 8 of us, literally 400 people. I just quit my job. My campaign manager quit his job. Really stupid. So the last question was, would every candidate up here support every other candidate? Well, of course, whether you're a Republican or Democrat, you'd support Hitler against somebody from the other party. I mean, that's just party politics, That's what you're supposed to say. So I looked for my campaign manager, like, what should I say? Like, I didn't have the guts to make the decision. Well, he had moved because he couldn't record enough. So I sat there and thinking, God's giving me the answer, This is on me. So the first 3 guys said, oh yeah, we support him, yeah. And I said, well, you know what, I got to put my 3-year-old adopted daughter to bed every night. And the Democrat that was running was pro-life, okay, the incumbent. And I don't think I could look her in the eye saying that I voted for somebody who was pro-abortion just because they're a Republican. Well, then the last 3 guys said, yeah, we'd support it. And the guy running the debate was like, oh my God, how could he say that? And he's like, okay, folks, that wraps it up. Let's go over to the get refreshments. So we go over there, and those of you who are a little bit older, you remember the E.F. Hutton commercials? When E.F. Hutton talks and everybody stops talking, right? Well, we went in there, and there must have been over 200-300 people there, and like everybody just looked like, oh my God, here comes the nut job, So I told my buddy, who had also quit his job, and after he came up after the debate, he says, I was really sorry to hear that question, but you answered it the right way. And so anyway, so I go up to this first group of co-eds, and I said, so how'd you like the debate? And they're all standing there like with their drinks, like, fine. And I felt like it was high school when you're asking a girl to dance, It's like, fine, like they don't want to dance with you, right? So I said, so what do you think of the last question? And so one of them says, well, I don't know if I agree with you. So I said, well, what do you mean on the rape and incest? She said, yeah. I said, okay, let me ask you this. Do you know who your parents are? Or do you know how you got here? And I realized, and she started giggling, and I realized that wasn't the way to ask that. I said, do you know who your parents are? And she says, yeah, I do. I said, well, actually, you don't. I mean, there are times, unless you've done a DNA, there have been cases where girls have had babies, their younger sister has it or something, and is too young to raise it, and the older sister raises the child. I'll grant you that that's a very rare case, but it's a possibility. And I can't see saying that you should have been aborted because of that. And I said, my daughter, we don't know how she was conceived, but she should have as much right to be here as you, don't you think?